Your legs are weakening and cramping at night, but what if you are only solving 1/3 of the problem? What if you need to restore the building blocks, the electrical system, and the supply lines to truly heal? Today, we are not just giving you another list of foods. We are revealing a doctor's 3-part leg restoration protocol. Welcome back to Healthier Daily, the channel where we give you the simple, science-backed truths to live a stronger and more independent life after 60. I'm your host, Dr. Ben Carter, and to be our master architect in this important restoration project, we are joined by a physician who has spent his life teaching the wisdom of looking at the body as a complete and interconnected system. It is our great honor to welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you for having me, Ben. A strong leg is a very complete system. It must have its strong structure, its clear electrical signals, and its abundant nourishment. If one of these is missing, the entire leg will begin to fail. We must learn to restore all three. This is so very important. I had a patient, a wonderful woman, whom we can call Mrs. Collins from the source text of our video today. She was suffering from both the weakness in her legs that made it hard for her to garden and from the terrible, painful cramps that would wake her up at night. She had a problem with more than one of her body's systems, and so she needed a complete solution.
And that is exactly what our guide is all about today. Dr. Hinohara is going to walk us through his complete 3-part restoration protocol for our legs. In our journey, we will learn about restoration mission number 1, restoring the building blocks. We will then learn about restoration mission number 2, restoring the electrical system. And finally, we will learn about restoration mission number 3, restoring the supply lines. It is a true blessing to have this kind of knowledge to understand that our bodies are these beautiful and complex systems that we can gently and wisely support. If you are ready to learn how to restore the complete health of your legs, please type the number 1 in the comments below. As you are watching this afternoon, it is the perfect time to begin this new understanding. And be sure to subscribe to our channel. It's completely free, and you will not want to miss a single part of this important mission. Okay, doctor, let's begin your 3-part leg restoration protocol. As you so wisely said, a weak and a cramping leg is often 3 different problems happening at the same time. Where does our important restoration project begin? What is restoration mission number 1?
Yes, our first and most important mission is to address the most fundamental problem of all, which is the slow and silent loss of the physical structure of the muscle itself. This is restoration's mission. Number 1, restoring the building blocks. As we get older, as the source text so clearly explains, our body begins to lose its precious muscle mass. This is the natural process of sarcopenia. And to be able to fight this, we must provide the body with the right and the proper building blocks. And our 2 champion foods for this important mission are a beautiful and a very lean pork tenderloin and the humble but very powerful cottage cheese.
So our first restoration team is our protein powerhouse. Let's talk about them one by one. Let's start with the pork tenderloin. I know that many seniors in America are often afraid to eat pork.
They should not be. A beautiful pork tenderloin is a very, very different food from a fatty pork chop. It is incredibly lean and it is very nutrient dense. And the source text for our video today tells the beautiful and very hopeful story of a 68-year-old grandmother named Mrs. Collins. She absolutely loved to be in her garden, but her legs were becoming so weak that they would begin to shake after just a little while. When she began to add a simple and a delicious roasted pork tenderloin to her diet just twice a week, she found that her strength and her stability in the garden had returned.
And that's because, as the source text for our video so wisely notes, that one simple 3-ounce serving of the pork tenderloin provides over 22 grams of a very high quality and a very complete protein. And it is incredibly rich in that special spark plug amino acid that we talk about so often on this channel. And that is, of course, leucine. As we now know, the leucine is the absolute key to overcoming that age-related anabolic resistance and to turning on our body's own natural muscle-building machinery. So the pork tenderloin is a powerful and a very leucine-rich builder. What about our second food for this important mission, the simple cottage cheese?
The cottage cheese is a very special and a very gentle builder for our bodies. The source text tells the wonderful story of a 72-year-old retiree named Mr. Johnson. He was suffering from those terrible nighttime cramps, and he was losing his muscle mass. And when he began to have just half a cup of a simple cottage cheese as his evening snack right before he went to bed, something remarkable happened. His painful nighttime cramps began to disappear, and his own doctor noticed that his leg strength was beginning to improve.
And his beautiful story is a perfect illustration of the unique and wonderful science of cottage cheese. As we have discussed in another video, the protein that is in cottage cheese is primarily a very special and a very slow digesting protein that is called casein. When you eat the cottage cheese, especially in the evening, as you are preparing for your night of rest, this beautiful casein protein provides your body with a very slow and a very steady stream of those precious muscle-building amino acids all throughout the night. So you see, it is literally fueling your body's night shift repair crew while you are sleeping. So the beautiful pork tenderloin is for your daytime strength, and the wonderful cottage cheese is for your nighttime repair. It is a truly blessed and a very wonderful design to see how these different and beautiful foods can provide our bodies with a specific kind of nourishment that they need at all of the different times of the day and the night. So our first restoration mission with the beautiful pork tenderloin and the powerful cottage cheese is all about rebuilding the physical structure of the muscle with high-quality protein. It is a critical and a very important first step. But doctor, as we know from our patient, Mrs. Collins, her problem was not just the weakness in her legs, it was also the painful nighttime cramps. And even with strong muscles, if the electrical signals are misfiring, you will still have pain. What is restoration mission number 2?
Yes, our second mission is to restore the beautiful, the calm, and the correct communication that is supposed to be happening within the muscles. This is restoration mission number 2, restoring the electrical system. As we have discussed in our video on the defense protocol for leg cramps, these painful cramps are very often an electrical problem, and they are very often caused by a simple and a very common deficiency in the master relaxation mineral for our entire body, which is, of course, magnesium. So, our restoration team for this very important mission is what I like to call our magnesium powerhouses. And our 2 champion foods for this important job are the beautiful Swiss chard and the humble pumpkin seeds.
So this mission is all about restoring that essential and very calming magnesium to the body. Let's talk about our first food, the beautiful Swiss chard.
Yes, this is a wonderful and a very elegant dark leafy green. And as the source text for our video so wisely notes, just 1 single cup of the cooked Swiss chard can deliver nearly 30% of your entire daily need for magnesium. It is an absolute powerhouse of this beautiful and relaxing mineral.
And it is so much more than just the magnesium. As we have learned in our other videos, the Swiss chard is also incredibly rich in the dietary nitrates. And as we now know, these nitrates are what your body very intelligently uses to be able to make nitric oxide. So with this one beautiful and delicious green vegetable, you are calming the electrical system with the powerful magnesium, and you are helping to improve the supply lines with the nitric oxide at the exact same time. It is a brilliant and a very intelligent two-in-one medicine from nature. Now, what about our second magnesium powerhouse, Doctor, the simple pumpkin seeds?
The pumpkin seeds are a wonderful and a very easy addition to any person's diet. And for our patient, Mrs. Collins, this was another key and very important part of her healing. She was now eating the protein to rebuild her muscles, but she was still getting some of the cramps at night. We had her begin to sprinkle a small and a very satisfying handful of these beautiful raw pumpkin seeds on her salad every single day. And this was what finally brought the beautiful peace to her legs at night.
And her story is another perfect illustration of the beautiful science. As we have discussed, the pumpkin seeds are one of the most concentrated and powerful food sources of magnesium on the entire planet. But they are also providing another very essential mineral for the repair of our body, and that is the mineral zinc. Zinc is a critical cofactor for hundreds of different and very important enzymes in your body, including the enzymes that are responsible for our body's own natural tissue repair and for a healthy and a very resilient immune system. So with the simple and humble pumpkin seeds, you are getting the relaxation mineral from the magnesium, and you are getting the repair mineral from the zinc. It is another beautiful and very intelligent healing partnership from nature. It is a truly blessed and a wonderful thing to see how these simple and beautiful whole foods can provide such a complete and a very complex symphony of healing for our bodies. And we love sharing this kind of holistic wisdom with our global community. To help us see our global community, please let us know what city, state, or country you are watching from. We love hearing from all of you. So our first restoration mission is all about restoring the protein building blocks with the beautiful pork tenderloin and the cottage cheese. And our second restoration mission is about restoring the electrical system with the beautiful and magnesium-rich Swiss chard and pumpkin seeds. Our legs are now rebuilt and they are calm. But doctor, as you have so wisely taught us, you can have the most beautiful house in the world, but it is completely useless if all of the roads that lead to it are blocked. This brings us to our third and final mission in our protocol.
Yes, our final and very important mission is about ensuring that all of the beautiful and healing nutrients can actually be delivered to where they need to go. This is restoration mission number 3, restoring the supply lines. You can eat all of the wonderful protein and all of the beautiful minerals in the world, but if your supply lines, your beautiful blood vessels are narrow and they are constricted, those precious nutrients cannot reach your hungry muscles. And our 2 champion foods for this very important mission are the deep red beets and the beautiful orange sweet potatoes.
So this entire mission is all about improving our circulation. Let's talk about our first rescuer, the powerful beet.
Yes, the source text for our video today tells the wonderful and very inspiring story of a 70-year-old retired nurse named Mrs. Turner. She loved to volunteer at her church, but simply climbing the steps to be able to get into the hall would leave her calves burning and feeling very tight. When she began to add simple roasted beets to her dinners just twice a week, she was amazed. Within just a month, she noticed that she could climb those same stairs without stopping to have to catch her breath.
And that is because, as we have learned in our other videos, the beautiful red beet is an absolute powerhouse of the dietary nitrates. And these nitrates are what your body so intelligently uses to be able to make that magical and powerful molecule, nitric oxide. And as we now know, the nitric oxide is the master key that unlocks and that opens up all of your blood vessels. And this allows a beautiful and a powerful rush of oxygen, rich blood to be able to be delivered to your hardworking muscles. So the beet opens up the supply lines. It is a brilliant tool. Now, what about our second food for this mission, the beautiful sweet potato? I know we talked about this one as a fueling food in a previous video, but I know it also plays a very key role here.
Yes, the sweet potato is a beautiful and a very multi-talented food. It is also a very important part of restoring our beautiful supply lines.
It is. We already know that it provides the beautiful and clean energy from its complex carbohydrates that our muscles need to be able to use all of that wonderful oxygen that the beet is helping to deliver. But it is also one of our richest and most wonderful sources of the mineral potassium. And potassium is so very critical for our circulation because it helps our body to be able to maintain a healthy fluid balance, and it works in a beautiful partnership with sodium to be able to regulate a healthy blood pressure. And of course, a healthy blood pressure means that there is much less stress and much less strain on all of our beautiful supply lines. Now, doctor, to bring our entire three-part restoration protocol together, can you please show our viewers how to build a simple and a very powerful restoration plate for their dinner tonight?
Of course, it is a beautiful and a very complete meal. For your main course, you will have a beautiful 3 to 4 ounce piece of a roasted pork tenderloin. That is your restoration mission number 1. On the side of your plate, you will have a small and a delicious portion of a mashed sweet potato. That is a part of your restoration mission number 3. And next to that, you'll have a beautiful side of Swiss chard that has been gently sautéed with a small and a very satisfying handful of our pumpkin seeds. And that is your restoration mission number 2. With this one simple and delicious meal, you are completing all 3 of your missions at the exact same time.
And doctor, what was the final result for our main patient, Mrs. Collins, the woman who was both weak and cramping?
This was the beautiful and the very successful conclusion to her story. The patient who was suffering from both the weakness and the cramps learned that she had to address all 3 of her body systems at once. By eating the protein to restore the building blocks, the magnesium-rich foods to restore the electrical system, and the circulation-boosting foods to restore the supply lines, her legs were finally and truly fully restored. The weakness completely disappeared, the cramps stopped, and the deep and heavy fatigue that was in her legs was finally gone. She had successfully completed her restoration project.
That is a truly beautiful and a blessed story. It is a powerful reminder that true and lasting healing is so often found when we learn to nourish all of the beautiful and the interconnected systems that make up our wonderful bodies. Doctor, this has been an incredible and a very illuminating guide. You have taught us that to truly heal our legs, we must think like a master restorer. Your 3-part leg restoration protocol is a powerful and a very new way for us to think about fighting the weakness and the leg cramps of aging. This is a profound and a very hopeful approach to senior health. By restoring the building blocks, the electrical system, and the supply lines, our viewers can now begin to address the deep root causes of their suffering, not just the symptoms. This important knowledge is a true cornerstone of a proactive senior health strategy. It is a practical food first way to fight back against the daily misery of leg cramps and to live a more comfortable and a more mobile life free from the fear of those painful nighttime leg cramps. Now, doctor, your 3-part leg restoration protocol is a life-changing way of thinking. For our viewers at home who are inspired to start their own restoration project this week, what is the most important and the wisest first step that they can take?
That is a wonderful and a very important question. The journey to healing must always begin with one single gentle step. I will give you a simple 3-part action plan for your first week. First, you must begin with a gentle audit. For the next 1 or 2 days, I do not want you to change anything. I simply want you to become a curious observer of your own body. Listen to your legs. What is your biggest and most frustrating problem? Is it the deep feeling of weakness in your muscles, which is a problem with the building blocks? Is it the sharp and sudden nighttime cramps, which is a problem with the electrical system? Or is it that cold and heavy feeling of fatigue, which is a problem with the supply lines? You must first identify your primary mission. Second, for the rest of the week, you will deploy just one restoration team. You must not try to do everything all at once. You will focus only on one of the 3 restoration teams that we have discussed. If your biggest problem is the weakness, you will focus on adding the beautiful cottage cheese to your diet. If your main problem is the cramps, you will focus on adding the pumpkin seeds. And third, and this is the most important step of all, you must create one simple daily habit. Your only job for this first week is to create one simple and very beautiful daily habit around that one mission. Perhaps it is a small handful of pumpkin seeds that you have every afternoon as a snack. It is just one small and very consistent act. This is how the restoration project begins.
That is a perfect and a very achievable action plan, Doctor.
I want to leave you with this one final thought. You must not just treat one single symptom. You must learn to restore the whole beautiful system. When you learn to rebuild the structure to fix the electrical system and to clear the supply lines, the body will always heal itself.
That is a beautiful message, Doctor. It's a wonderful reminder to be good stewards of our health by understanding and by nourishing all of the blessed and the beautifully interconnected systems of our bodies. And of course, it is absolutely essential that you speak with your personal doctor or a registered dietitian before making any significant changes to your diet, especially if you have existing health conditions. Please remember that our conversation today is for educational purposes and is not a substitute for the direct medical advice from your own trusted physician. If you found this guide empowering and it gave you a new and a complete way to think about your health, please give this video a like so that others can find this vital information, and be sure to share it with a friend or a family member who you know might be struggling with these problems. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It is completely free, and it ensures you will not miss our next practical health guide. And for our community discussion today, we would love to know, which restoration mission do your own legs need the most right now? Restoring the building blocks, the electrical system, or the supply lines? Please share your first mission in the comments below. Thank you for being with us. Be well.